Hello students of class 8. The other day we had stopped there where we see that Shylock lends the money to Antonio and also means after Antonio signs a bond that if for any reason he is unable to repay the money within a certain date, then Shylock will exact a pound of his flesh from Antonio's body from any part he likes. Okay, now let us read what happens next. The rich heiress that Bassanio wished to marry lived near Venice, a place called Belmont. Okay, her name was Portia. Her name was Portia. Okay, and in the graces of her person and her mind, she was nothing inferior to that Portia of whom we read, who was Cato's daughter and the wife of Brutus. Okay. Now, where did Portia live? Portia lived at a place called Belmont, which was close to Venice. Now, Portia was a very graceful and charming lady, and here graces of her person and mind, nothing inferior. So she was as good as the Portia, other Portia. Other Portia here refers to if you read if you have heard of the play Julius Caesar, in that we get Portia, who was the wife of Brutus, and not only the wife of Brutus but Cato's daughter. She was also a very beautiful lady and a very graceful and very wise lady. So here also the author tells us that this Portia of Belmont was in no way inferior to the to Cato's daughter or the wife of Brutus. Bassanio, being so kindly supplied with money by his friend Antonio at the hazard of his life by risking his life, set out for Belmont with a splendid train. That splendid train means a lot of other people, and attended by a gentleman of the name Gratiano. So Bassanio went to Belmont with Gratiano. Gratiano is a friend, he a gentleman, and said he is actually also a friend of Bassanio. Gratiano, yes, a friend of Bassanio. Now, Bassanio proving successful in his suit. If you remember, I told you in the other class that he needed this money to play the lottery of caskets. Okay, it was said that there were 3 caskets of gold, silver, and lead, and in one of them the picture of Portia was hidden. So many princes from many countries came to win the hand of Portia, but everybody lost. It was Bassanio who won the lottery of caskets. So it is actually referring to that. Portia in a short time consented to accept him for a husband. So Portia also accepted Bassanio as her husband. Bassanio confessed to Portia that he had no fortune and that his high birth and noble ancestry were all that he could boast of. That is, he was of a noble birth. That is, he had means he belonged to good parents. Okay. She who loved him for his worthy qualities and had riches enough not to regard wealth in a husband, answered with graceful modesty. So when Portia accepted to marry Bassanio, Bassanio very humbly confessed that look, I don't have anything else other than, I come from a very good family, very noble family. My noble birth is my only wealth. So to that, Portia replies. Portia, what does he reply? She who loved him for his worthy qualities. So Portia said, I don't need your any wealth. Okay, I have enough wealth with me, but I love for your qualities, for the person that you are, and had riches enough not to regard wealth in a husband, answered with graceful modesty that she would wish herself 1,000 times more fair and 10,000 times more rich to be worthy of him. And then the accomplished Portia prettily dispraised herself and said that she was an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed, yet not so old, but that she could learn, and that she would commit her gentle spirit to be directed and governed by him in all things. So Portia was equally, humble, and said that, I don't want any wealth from you. I like you, or I love you for the, good qualities that you have in you. And, I consider myself very fortunate to get a husband like you. And as far as I am concerned, I don't think I'm worthy of you. This unschooled, unlessoned, I am. Means that is what she's trying to say, that my qualities are not so great as yours. Okay, you are a person with a lot of virtues. Virtues means good qualities. And she also said that henceforth, after my marriage, I will be always very loyal to you, and you will be my guide. Whatever you say, I will do it accordingly. I will do things accordingly. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. That is, after marriage, whatever is mine, whatever property belongs to me, belongs equally to you. But yesterday, Bassanio, I was the lady of this fair mansion, queen of myself and mistress over these servants. And now this house, these servants, and myself are yours, my lord. And give them, I give them with this ring, presenting a ring to Bassanio. So she said that so long, till yesterday, everything was mine. Okay, I was the only person who was the owner, who could command on these servants, everything. But from today, and means after we get married, whatever is mine is all yours. And with that, Portia gave a ring to Bassanio. Bassanio was so overpowered with gratitude, okay, and wonder at the gracious manner in which the rich and noble Portia accepted of a man of his humble fortunes. Humble means, he was not a wealthy man like Portia, that he could not express his joy and reverence to the dear lady. Reverence means respect, to the dear lady who so honored him by anything but broken words of love and thankfulness. And taking the ring, he vowed never to part with it. So when Portia, said such things, Bassanio, he was, so much overpowered with gratitude that he became so thankful, and he was so overjoyed that he was unable to express, his feelings. And whatever he said with broken words, that is, he was so full of happiness and love for her, and that is, he was so much surprised by the way this very beautiful and rich and wise lady had presented herself before him, that he could not, express his feelings properly. So somehow he expressed, in broken words, he expressed his feelings, and he took the ring, and he said that this is a ring, I take it, and I will never part with it. That is, and this is a ring that I will put on my finger, and I will never take it off for any reason. Graciano and Nerissa, Portia's waiting maid. So who is Nerissa? Nerissa is Portia's waiting maid. Waiting maid means attendant. Okay, were in attendance upon their lord and lady when Portia so gracefully promised to become the obedient wife of Bassanio. So Graciano and Nerissa both were there when Portia accepted Bassanio as her husband. And Graciano, wishing Bassanio and the generous lady joy, desired permission to be married at the same time. So Graciano said, this is such a wonderful thing, nothing beautiful could happen at this time. And she said that, and he said that, with your permission, my lord, if you give me permission, then I also want to get married at the same time when you both get married. With all my heart, Graciano, said Bassanio, if you can get a wife. So if you can get a wife, if you get a lady whom you can marry, then I have no problem. Graciano then said that he loved Lady Portia's fair waiting gentlewoman Nerissa, and that she had promised to be his wife if her lady married Bassanio. So Nerissa had promised Graciano that she would marry Graciano only if Portia married Bassanio. Portia asked Nerissa if this was true. So Portia tried to find out that whether Nerissa had actually said anything like that to Graciano. Madam, it is so, if you approve of it. So Nerissa is very gentle, and she says that yes, madam, Portia, I did say so, but if you give me the permission. Portia willingly consenting, Bassanio pleasantly said. So Portia didn't have any objection to it. Then our wedding feast shall be much honored by your marriage, Graciano. So Bassanio said that okay, fine, both our marriages will take place together, and since you are also getting married, it will be a double honor for our marriage also. The happiness of these lovers was sadly crossed at this moment by the entrance of a messenger who brought a letter from Antonio containing fearful tidings. When Bassanio read Antonio's letter, Portia feared it was to tell him of the death of some dear friend. He looked so pale, and inquiring what was the news which had so distressed him, he said. So when there was such a happy situation, all of a sudden they received a letter, and Bassanio, on reading that, he turned pale. The very expression changed to a sad expression, and Portia thought that maybe he has received the news of a death of a friend. That's why he is behaving that way. And what did Bassanio say? Oh, sweet Portia, here are a few unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. Gentle lady, when I first imparted my love to you, I freely told you all my wealth I had run in my veins. But I should have told you that I had less than nothing, being in debt. So Bassanio admits that when I told you, I said I have nothing, but I did not tell you that I was already in debt. That is, I have always borrowed money from my friend but never repaid, and that my friend had taken money from Shylock at the risk of his life. Bassanio then told Portia what has been here related of this borrowing the money of Antonio, and of Antonio procuring it of Shylock, the Jew, and the bond by which Antonio had engaged to forfeit a pound of flesh. Forfeit means penalty. If it was not repaid by a certain day. And then Bassanio read Antonio's letter, the words of which were. So then, Bassanio narrated everything, how he needed the 3,000 ducats he didn't have. Then he went to Antonio. Antonio didn't have it. They went to Shylock, and Shylock made Antonio sign the bond. And that is how, everything happened. Okay, now he reads from Antonio's letter. Sweet Bassanio, my ships are all lost. My bond to the Jew is forfeited. Okay, that is the date of the repayment, and now I have to pay the penalty. And since in paying it is impossible, I should live. I could wish to see you at my death. Notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If your love for me do not persuade you to come, let not my letter. So Antonio writes to Bassanio saying that, my ships are all lost. I'm not able to repay the money anymore, and I just want to meet you for one last time before my death. I'm not sad about my death, but please, if you do love me, then come to me. Don't come because I have written it to you because of this letter. Oh, my dear love, said Portia, dispatch all business and be gone. You shall have gold to pay the money 20 times over before this kind friend shall lose a hair of my Bassanio's fault. And you are so dearly bought, I will dearly love you. So Portia says, what is this the reason? You take all my money, everything, and see to it that no harm should come to Antonio. Okay, and if you can do it, I will love you dearly. And no harm should come to you because it's all your fault. It's because you needed the money. Portia then said that she would be married to Bassanio before he set out, to give him a legal right to her money. And that same day they were married, and Gratiano was also married to Nerissa. And Bassanio and Gratiano, the instant they were married, set out in great haste for Venice, where Bassanio found Antonio in prison. So Portia said that before you leave for Venice, we have to get married, because only if you get married to me, you have the right to all my property. So you take all my property. So both the marriages, as it was decided, it takes place, and then they leave for Venice in great haste, where Bassanio meets Antonio in prison. We stop here today.